I and my father attained the blessing of Ahmadiyya through the companionship of the late Sayyid Ghulam Shah Sahib Ahmadi of Noorang district Kharia and the late Maulvi Burhanuddin, may Allah be pleased with him, Ahmadi of Jhelum. The aforementioned Sayyid Sahib and Maulvi Sahib, they were also teachers of my late honorable father, Mirza Muhammad Ashraf Sahib the pensioner, and Mahajir, former Muhasib of Sadr Anjuman Ahmadiyya Qadian. He was my first cousin from my father's side. In those days, somebody requested the Holy Champion of Allah in the garb of prophethood that please do come from time to time to the printing press. The promised Messiah ﷺ replied that please excuse me, I cannot because there is a hookah there, and I become completely embarrassed seeing this. However, I do not consider those who use the hookah bad at heart. He continued that some people come for the initiation to me, they are clean shaven, the smell of alcohol emanates from their heart, but I even do not consider them bad at heart. This is because it is my belief that if they stay in my company or call upon me regularly, then God, who is generous, will certainly purify them and make them righteous. There is another narration by Hazrat Hafiz Ghulam Rasul Sahib of Wazirabad, son of Hafiz Muhammad Hussain Sahib of Wazirabad, Gujranwala, who took the Bayt, the Pledge of Allegiance, in 1897. He writes that at one time, the house of Darul Masih in Qadian, in which Hazrat Mian Bashir Ahmad, may Allah be pleased with him, resides, which opens under the covered alley. The promised Messiah ﷺ assembled some friends there, and he spoke to them and delivered an address. He said, "The reason I established the high school was so that students should attain knowledge and then convey the truth to the people. But it is unfortunate that people learn English and then focus on their own careers, and my objective is not fulfilled. This is why I desire and wish that a separate and pure school is established. Is there anyone who, for the sake of God, is ready to enroll his child to attain this religious knowledge?" At that time, my late son Ubaidullah was 7 or 8 years old, and during those days, Hazrat Mufti Muhammad Sadiq Sahib was a headmaster of Madrasa Ahmadiyya. Coincidentally, my son was standing beside me, and I immediately presented him to the promised Messiah ﷺ. Fazl Din, a peon who was of medium height and from Sialkot, he was present at Madrasa Ahmadiyyat. The promised Messiah ﷺ grabbed hold of Ubaidullah with his blessed hands and placed him under the responsibility of Fazl Din, that he should go and enroll him in the Ahmadiyya Madrasa. In short, Ubaidullah attained the Maulvi Fazl degree, and during the era of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II was sent to Mauritius. After preaching for 7 years there, he returned to his Lord, and he was declared by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II as the first Shaheed or martyr of India. Hazrat Ubaidullah Sahib, Hazur says, was a missionary in Mauritius, where he passed away and was buried. So this is his narrative as described by his father. So he then writes that, "We heard that today in Gurdaspur, the hearing of Karamdeen, the case against the promised Messiah ﷺ, was to occur. The promised Messiah ﷺ had gone there. It was mentioned that all our savings in the house had been spent. Hearing this, I went to Gurdaspur. The promised Messiah ﷺ was resting after the morning prayer, and someone was pressing his body. As soon as I arrived, I started doing the same. Because at the time I was strong and healthy, and had the honor of serving my former teachers, I was experienced in this task. So I started pressing him in this manner. The promised Messiah ﷺ felt this, and he immediately uncovered his face. And he stated, 'Hafiz Sahib, are you satisfied? Are you content? When did you arrive?' So I replied that I had just arrived." He writes, "The fact worth mentioning, and the happiness of which still resonates within me even today, is that I asked the promised Messiah ﷺ that, 'Does Hazur recognize me?' He replied, Hafizji, why would I not recognize you? When I heard this, my eyes filled with tears, because the promised Messiah ﷺ said, whoever recognizes me and who I recognize will be protected from the plague. He said then, we talked about each other's well-being,